it's me again. It's like, and I'm here for the news, as usual. So here we go. I'm doing the usual of this very now on Twitter again. Give me a second for the thingy to load up. First one wasn't. SpaceX targets January 5th launch for mystery Zuma payload. I'm gonna have a look at that, because it's space and there's so much unknown about space. SpaceX is launching Zuma, a mystery spacecraft operated by the US government for purposes unknown, thanks to it being very classified. The launch was supposed to be taking place like last November, but was scrubbed and reset and then scrubbed again with no firm timeline for a follow-up attempt. But now it's set to take off from Florida's Cape Canaveral, tentatively on the 5th of January, from its Pad 40 launch facility. I know nothing about where it's going, but there's something behind it being a low orbit Earth orbit. Cape Canaveral is a bustling hotspot of SpaceX activity at the moment. The Falcon Heavy rocket is going to launch for the first time in the coming weeks. It is set up at a nearby launch facility ready for testing and pre-flight preparations. Sounds interesting, but I would like to know what it's doing. Now, as a war, it's like things being classified is annoying, because as you want to know something, but it's a bit like you can't as it's restricted, and it's a bit like some things not for our ears, just it's like the government didn't even admit to like Area 51 a couple of years ago, even though it's been around since like the end of World War II, I think. Storm Eleanor to bring severe gales up to 90 miles per hour with high tides and risk to life. As it's coming over from Ireland. Lives could be at risk while flooding, power cuts and travel disruptions are likely when storm arrives on Tuesday, forecast warns. The storm has already brought heavy rain and western parts of Ireland, and wind gusts of 8 to 7 miles per hour was recorded, which is what the Met Office said. Severe amber weather warning has been issued for very strong winds for some southern parts of Northern Ireland, and 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday in northern England as well as southern fringes of Scotland overnight. And a separate yellow weather warning for strong winds is in place until 6 p.m. on Wednesday for most of the UK. There's wind speeds of up to 90 miles per hour are expected in some parts of the UK, with gusts between 50 and 60 miles per hour predicted for much of the country. It'll be quite windy up to 70 miles per hour across these parts with gusts of up to 80 to 90 miles per hour in regions. We could see between 50 and 60 miles per hour in yellow warning area, which covers most of the UK. We urge Carol Holt, the Environment Agency's flood duty manager, said, "We urge people to stay safe on the coast, to take extreme care on coastal paths and promenades, and don't put yourself in unnecessary danger trying to take storm selfies." If you're travelling, please check your route before setting off and don't drive through floodwater. I think don't drive through floodwaters. Tuesday being the second day back at uni, I'm kind of a little scared. No time for leftovers. The astonishing scale of food waste in the UK and around the world. Approximately 1.3 billion tonnes, according to UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, is wasted, which is the equivalent to more than half of the world's annual cereals crop. At the same time, 795 million people around the world were suffering from chronic undernourishment from 2014 to 2016. And in the UK alone, 8.4 million struggled to afford a meal, despite the UK wasting billions of food through waste each year, according to a food waste charity, WRAP. It is important to distinguish between food loss and food waste, as food loss occurs between production and retail, while food waste occurs between consumption and retail. As food waste is higher in Western countries, while developing countries are more likely to suffer from food loss. So yeah, now we're moving on to Twitter. As I unlock my phone. Let's start off with the new UK news before we go on to world news, considering I am from the UK. And the first tweet is what the BBC News UK retweeted, that an Italian woman received first bionic hand with sense of touch that can now be used outside of labs. We're making progress. Toby Young regrets politically incorrect comments. Windsor Council leader in begging crackdown call. Former crew coach charged with assaulting by the crews in place. New Nazi case. 2 men pleaded not guilty in terror charge. West Brom have said that Jake Livermore confronted a West Ham fan after comments about the death of his son, as West Ham are investigating the incident. An unknown woman has become the face of Iran's protest movement. For the past week, Iran has been gripped by protests. Thousands of Iranians have taken to the streets to demonstrate against anti-government corruption, unemployment and the weak economy. Despite heavy restrictions on social media, some videos and pictures have found their way online, including those appearing to show protesters vandalising buildings and being fired at by government buildings. The government blocked access to Instagram and the messaging app Telegram in an attempt to stop calls for protests and the sharing of videos and photographs online, but many images have already circulated. One of the most widely shared images is of the woman taking off her white head covering and waving it on a stick in apparent act of defiance against Islamic rule. Although the image is taken, it was not taken during the current unrest. The demonstrations began on December 28th in Mashhad, the country's second largest city. In the days that followed, a wave of spontaneous demonstrations broke out in many other towns and cities, with protesters calling for an end to the rule of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The image of a woman waving the headscarf was first posted on social media one day before the protests began by Mahsi Alanjad, a US-based Iranian Jew journalist. Ms. Alanjad is also a women's rights activist and founded 2 social media campaigns, My Stealthy Freedom and White Wednesdays. My Stealthy Freedom encourages Iranian Iranian, it's not sounding right, active women to post photos and videos without the mandatory headscarf in public. White Wednesday, which began in 2017, urges women to wear white clothing every Wednesday to protest against Iran's strict dress code. Miss Arranger posted an image of the woman on her Instagram page, attributing her action to the White Wednesday campaign. On the same day, she was filmed in Tehran's busy Engel Halab Street. The authorities in the capital announced that women caught in public without the hair code would no longer be arrested. Those who do not cover their heads correctly will now have to attend Islamic educational classes. Images and videos of a woman standing on box waving her headscarf began to be widely shared by those who do not believe in reforms, go so far enough and hate anti-government protesters disillusioned with the clerics in power. As a consequence, the young woman has become the face of Iran's protest movement, which has been the mobilizations of hundreds of Iranian women, and many have also described her as Iran's Rosa Parks. A popular Twitter account posted in Persian, a girl standing against mandatory hijab has become a symbol of resistance and civil disobedience in Iranian women. Rosa Parks did not bow down to oppression. End of tweet. Tributes continue to be paid to the woman's acts of defiance. The Twitter user posted that the flowers left on the box were allegedly made by her protest. But there's a picture of it. Hundreds of social media users have also changed their avatars and profile pictures to colourful graphic of headscarf waving women. Although the young woman's identity and fate remain unknown, she has become a symbol of liberty and hope for many supporting the anti-government protests. She is also not the first Iranian woman to become the face of political unrest. Footage of the death of Neda Aga Sultan drew worldwide attention during the mass protests in 2009 that were triggered by a disputed presidential election. End of that. Parasites invading houses of parliament. Really need to clean up. Reality check: was 2017 the worst year for UK terrorism? Over the past year has been a surge in terrorism plots and attacks and arrests in the UK. But is it the worst ever year on record? The short answer is that it is nowhere near as bad as it was during the height of the Troubles in Northern Ireland, which is not the worst year on record for fatalities either. But a broader measure of counter-terrorism activities suggest that 2017 was indeed the most challenging year for the police force and security services for decades. It was the worst single year of Troubles was 1972, in which 470 people died and almost 5,000 more people were injured. The police also recorded 1,382 explosions and seized more than 180 rounds of ammunition. While the attacks last year at Westminster Bridge, Manchester Arena, London Bridge and the mosque in North London killed 36 people. The most deadly single year in this century remains 2005 because of 52 people killed by the 4 suicide bombers who carried out the 7/7 attacks. Going back further, the 1988 Lockerbie bombing in a Pan Am passenger jet en route from London to New York was blown up near the Scottish town, killing 270 people, including 11 victims on the ground. But the Director General of MI5, Andrew Parker, recently said that the tempo of counter-terrorism operations was the highest he had seen in his 34-year career. Arrests can follow months of intensive investigations into networks of extremists. For every arrest there may have been many other potential suspects whom the security services have looked at. There were 400 arrests on suspicion of terror-related offences in a year up to the end of September 2017, which is the highest recorded figure, which is more than 50% up from the year before. A woman who for years thought her stomach pains were caused by Crohn's disease was found to have pieces of Heinz sauce sachet in the intestines. What are you doing with Heinz sauce? But a couple of years ago, or potentially not so long ago. Ticketmaster's best seats aren't the best seats after all. Paddy McGuinness duped by a fake Derek Grace charity scam. Now hero who admits stealing from Manchester Arena blast victims. Screw you. Share chef quits over spiked vegan posts. At the age of 12, this woman discovered that her father said she'd never known was a Roman Catholic priest. I thought they were supposed to have taken a vow of chastity when they took up being a priest. Winter is here in a series of new stamp series featuring Game of Thrones characters. There we go. UK's first polar bear cub in 25 years, born at Scottish Park. Christmas card glitter caused woman's eye lesions. Now, Queen Elizabeth was interviewed for a coronation documentary. Last year each of us streamed 1,036 songs, and most of them were by Ed Sheeran. Dating website eHarmony Scientific Match ad band. Let's go and see what's happening in world news other than the Iranian Rosa Parks. US bans Tehran's... okay, maybe not. Ex-aide Bannon has lost his mind, Trump has said. If anyone's still there by the end of Trump's term or potential 2 terms, let me know how it goes. Drunk man's New Year's Eve taxi ride through 3 countries. Where does he live and why was he where he was? In Germany, migrants may have fueled violent crime rise. Plastic is harming India's holiest river. One second, just friend with... Weather experts are telling US to brace itself for explosive cyclogenesis, otherwise known as cyclone bomb. And Equatorial Guinea stops coup attempt by mercenaries. This is me trying to do news and trying to send someone some work, so if it fails, I'm sorry. Turkish child marriage, religious document sparks anger. MH370, private company resumes search for missing plane. Thomas Manson, president of Mormon Church, dies at 90. Do not need public law. Fed up Ryanair passenger waits on the wing of plane. Iran protest general declares sedation defeated. Storm Elsa isn't just affecting the UK, it's affecting Northern Europe as there have been power cuts and disruptions across Northern Europe. Palestinians condemn Trump threat to cut aid as blackmail. Will North Korea compete in the Winter Olympics? Who knows? Berlin reels after 9 inmates escape Plötzensee prison. At least 48 people have been killed after coach falls 100 metres off a cliff in Peru. The email's been sent. Viewer's discretion is advised. New York to install 1,500 security barriers after vehicle attacks. Ethiopia to release all political prisoners, says Prime Minister. Argentina roots out Nokia phantom workers. Cycling world champion Caroline Buchanan has posted a picture on Instagram of the serious injuries she suffered in a car accident, as the BBC wish her all the best. India caste protest disrupts Mumbai. Zambia's Foreign Minister Henry Kalaba resigns over greed. North Korea says it will reopen telephone hotline to South Korea to facilitate talks on possible participation in the Winter Olympics. Trump's again, my nuclear button is bigger and more powerful. It's not the Foreign Minister of Zambia's resignation of agreed that I'm worried about. Is President Trump getting rescued by police from busy Auckland motorway. Judging from the picture, the kitten looks absolutely terrified as it's hiding in the footwell. Ryanair passenger takes emergency exit. Eric Garner death inspires an unlikely police experiment. Logan and Jake Paul are brothers that are dominating social media. Trump threatens to stop Palestinian aid in the Jerusalem round. China's uphill struggle fighting extreme poverty. And that's it for today, and I hope you enjoy yourselves.